On a kilo.
Greetings and welcome to the People's Ascension. All right, great. First things first, OBS forgot how cameras work. That's just great. Uh,
Does it remember how
No.
audio
it remembers
works?
how audio works, but this week it forgot how
Okay.
cameras work. Okay,
Oh,
great. It doesn't seem to be, it seems to be mixing up my monitors, which is a problem I've never had before. So bear with us. Uh, Unfortunately, we are at a half session today. We had to play some scheduling Tetris with a few people, but we did manage to get everybody locked down for at least half a session today. So we're going to play that out. I'm really interested to see where it goes. The group has some pretty interesting ideas of how they want to proceed, and I'm rooting for them, really. Uh, okay, come on. Why is Am I going to have to do this individual? There we go. There we go. Everybody's in the right box now. Let me move over to
ew.
combat. Yeah, there we go. Okay, everything's working. I figured it out. Yeah, so we're gonna be playing till our normal time, till 7 o'clock. So it's gonna be a half episode, but I think that's going to work out with where we are in the dungeon. So I'm really excited to see what the party has to do going forward. Um, as far as announcements, I believe this week is going to be wonky for me as well. Because Monday may or may not be weird. I think Monday is weird. Um, but as far as I know, Star Trek Adventures should be back on our normal weekly Tuesday schedule going forward. We'll see if that turns out to be the case, but that's what I've been told. So I am excited to get back into that game. We had a really fun session last Tuesday. I got to pretty much one-on-one a genetically and cybernetically enhanced Klingon. And he ran away at the end, which is very not Klingon. I'm gonna have some words for his father, and it's gonna be bad. So look forward to that on Tuesday over at twitch.tv/Studio Tembo. Uh, and I mean that's really the only concrete announcement I think I have for next week, and then I'm just kind of gonna have to play it by ear. Uh, but back to this channel. Of course, we are a Twitch affiliate. We're working our way to partner, but that's a long road. So if you want to help us get there, throw some bits in the cup, press all the bells and whistles and buttons and whatnot. Head over to Patreon, and if you want to support us, that's the best place to do it over there. We got after shows, we got codex entries, we got NPC and enemy character sheets. One-on-one episodes. Right now, it's only one, but we'll see if we make more of those. A lot of cool things coming there. So if you want to support this channel, that is the place to do it. There is also our Twitter and our Twitch. This is the Twitch, our Twitter and our Discord, also linked below. That you can check out. We also have a YouTube, so head over to all those sites, press all of the good flavored buttons, and make the algorithms like us. I think that's all I'm going to do because we are at a half session and running late. So let's actually keep this kind of succinct so we can get right into this. I've been questioning whether or not we need to continue even doing the character introductions that we do, but we'll have a conversation about that going forward. So let me introduce everybody, just to keep the ball rolling, and then we can get into the game. So up top we have Taylor, who plays Aquila, our Goliath blood hunter. Hello.
Hi, you've basically done my intro now.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need to make this weird. You guys are fast enough. Taylor, you went. Steven, hello, go.
Hi, I'm Steven. I play Ander, the half-elf warlock of Zadok, in all his eldritch oily glory.
All right. And today we have the Ghost of Arlene.
Yes, I am the ghost of Arlene. My character is Tali, the not ghost. She is a orphan Tempest cleric wood elf.
All right. I keep
And
I
that's
keep
about
trying
it.
to make her a ghost, but she's hardy.
She's
Uh,
tough girl.
on the other side of our logo, we have Christian back with us.
So, play Shliva sometimes. She's a druid or something.
Or
maybe.
something. Yeah. Christian and Shliva have a lot to catch up on because they weren't here last week and things happened, as they usually do in D&D
Shliva
episodes.
was here last week.
Shliva
Christian
was here.
wasn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. And rounding us off, as usual, is Stephanie. Hello.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm Sepki and I play a human sorcerer. And that's all I got.
Okay.
Our token human.
Our token human.
Yeah.
It's true. We didn't have a human before her.
Yeah, Regina said we need to be more inclusive.
Yeah.
Nobody else wanted to play a human.
Okay, so let's get a quick recap in of everything that happened last week. Man, it feels like a long week, but it was last week. But let's try to keep it, cinematically short. We don't need every single play-by-play, just big cinematic moments.
So after jumping down the hole, or swimming down the hole, I suppose at that point, because we were almost drowned. I think the first thing we came across was the pull rope idiot trap,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
which we managed to get around by thanks to the fact that everything was flooded, just kind of getting up into the side before pulling the rope. Kind of kept going down the little flooded hallway we were in after that.
Oh, you left the part where we
Yeah, you're right.
You took a rest.
We took
that was
a rest in
underwater.
the room. Yep.
we were
Well,
breathing.
because we had
Mhm.
water breathing,
Yep.
we decided to take a short rest underwater. I did give Jack multiple chances to say no, that's not possible, but since he wasn't going to,
I mean, he was
Andrew
also
was
the
gonna
first
take
one to
that rest.
suggest resting underwater.
yeah, well, yeah. But during that rest, the fact that we were in essentially undead death water, had an effect on a couple people. Sevgi passed out, though the majority of the party was convinced she was dead.
You mean died?
Yeah, she was straight up dead.
It's not our fault we rolled nat ones.
He was definitely dead.
That was roll
Well,
20's doing.
So
Tali took off.
Sevgi had a panic attack and passed out, and Aquila and Shliva both rolled natural ones of their medicine check. Could not find a pulse, could not find breathing because breathing underwater, and they were convinced that Sevgi just died right there. Just spontaneous death. Sevgi's dead.
Well,
And Tali was
Tali
ready to
took off.
believe us too.
Well, Tali got just, I guess, freaked out by being in death water,
Yep.
and so took off swimming, trying to escape. Ander chased her down, managed to calm her down enough to function, and not run off into a trap or something. At which point, Aquila and Shliva come up, yelling about how Sephi's dead.
I liked that particular cinematic moment. Tali, calm down.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. The rest of the group will be here shortly. And then these other two come up, dragging the unconscious dead body of Shliva. Shliva's dead, or Sevgi's dead.
I think my exact words were, well, that lasted.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget exactly what I said, but there was some kind of like, well, great. At which point, Ander just had Redna do like a brain scan, basically. Like, do you pick up surface thoughts? Yeah, she's not dead.
Nobody
Could not
believes
convince
him.
anybody of that.
Yeah.
That's the power of a nat one.
The next trap we came across was the underwater blender.
Mhm.
The blender.
Yeah, it was a spinning column with a number of like wooden poles coming out from it.
They were actually stone, metal.
Oh, stone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
They
I
were
thought
part
they were
of the
just
structure.
wooden.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, they were stone, otherwise they were going to rot away.
That's fair. Either way, column, bars, spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But through a crowdsourced plan,
Yeah.
we managed to tie a length of
The best
the
knots in
moon's.
existence.
Silk.
What was? Yeah,
Earth silk.
Mhm.
Rope.
Earth silk. Earth silk.
Yeah.
Tied a
Her
knot
sailor-
around the
her
gate.
sailor's knots.
Yeah, that Zadok helped with. Tied a
I
knot
rolled
around.
a nat 20. It was mostly me.
Yeah. You might not have rolled that nat 20 without Zadok's help. He works in mysterious ways.
No. I want credit for my rolls.
Tied one end to the gate that we used to get into the room, and then using Mage Hand managed to loop a noose around one of the bars coming out that managed to stop the column from turning for long enough for most of the people to get through. Unfortunately, the rope snapped as Shliva was moving through, and she got it in the back. But,
With Krushka.
Mhm.
I mean, it hurt, but not, fatally. So, and then Ander just kind of crawled using the fact that
Those
he has the gloves and it's a flooded chamber, just kind of soldier crawled his way across the ceiling above the spinning death thing. After that, we ended up in the what we realized later was a loop, essentially under a fountain. At the time, it was a dead end with a big old column in the middle. Before we solved it, Ander actually managed to wake Sevki up from her stupor by basically just psychically shouting her awake. But do I get credit for resurrecting the dead person? No.
Nope.
She resurrected herself magically.
Yeah. It was spontaneous resurrection.
Shliva went to investigate the hole in the wall that was part of the loop in otter form and got stuck at the top of the loop at a grate. At which point we busted a hole in the center column that was in the room. Aquila wedged herself in, managed to crawl up, grab Otter Shliva, and pull her out. Then we sent Redna in with Ander piggybacking, visually. Kind of scouted out the whole area a little bit better, figured out kind of what was going on. And that in the other room was a bigger grate that we could all get through. So widen the hole a little bit more to get in that center column, crawled our way through it to the room on the other side of the wall, and through use of flight and some rope, managed to get everyone up and out of the cistern kind of area up into a fountain room where there was a dead cult member and a very lovely fountain. At which point Ander
Drinking the
proceeded
ghost
to...
water.
Huh?
So probably died from drinking the ghost water.
No.
in the fountain.
No.
We determined that was not it.
Yeah,
No.
but Holly didn't. Holly still
Um,
thinks it was the water.
Definitely not the water.
Aquila kind of figured he had gotten essentially some kind of rotting touch sort of thing done to him.
He was
Some kind
desiccated.
of
Like all the
Yeah.
moisture was drawn out of him.
Unevenly.
Yes, I know.
After which point Ander curb stomped his remains in a not tactical but very satisfying moment of fuck this whole thing. We ended up leaving the room, going into the next room over, which was, I forget the exact description of it, but basically as soon as we walked in, what I think we all assume and what Aquila probably recognizes as Prosthesis materialized in the middle of the room next to a couple of dead cultists. And that was kind of where we left off.
Yeah, I think that's about it. you guys got another short rest in the fountain room proper. So for Christian's sake, Shliva and Krishka, for that matter, are back up to full health. And you use some amount of your hit dice, which I guess you can choose to be like, I don't want to spend my hit dice to heal, but I figured you would. Yeah, it's in here.
More than one, less than all of them.
Yeah,
5 of them. I
I
scrolled up and you can see where it says hit dice that Jack was rolling.
sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I think Shliva used the half, and Krushka had to use 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But after that rest and stomping a corpse and investigating a very pretty fountain, yes, the party proceeded into the next room. What was that, Arlene?
I just said it had a hippocampus on it.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Yes. Very fancy fountain. Coiled hippocampus. Golden sun kelp. Ornamentations and steel blue, or blue steel palm fronds. Then they proceeded into the next room, which was basically a small temple to the to Demon Liba, or most likely the now deified Damalaba Tahar. Inside, initial inspection, just pretty much looking past the corners of the room. You guys are still all kind of in that small hallway leading to the room itself, but looking around the corners, getting a general layout of the room, you saw that in the center of the room was the remains of some sort of conflict, some sort of scuffle. There was a whole bunch of broken, well, rubble strewn about the place. Probably from various statues or pillars. There was 3 Cult of Worms cultist corpse littering the ground, and 2 statues that are currently sort of knelt down in prayer, facing an altar, which is up on a sort of raised platform. Various scenes associated with Demon Liba and Persicus and the religion associated between both of them, as well as the cult for the Father of Men, are all represented across the various frescoes and reliefs across the room. There was a statue of Persicus in full military gear up by the altar, and a relief of various soldiers in parade led by Persicus on the opposite side of the room from where you have entered. So unless anybody has any questions, that is where we will pick up. Just as the sand swirled up, formed into Persicus, who turned and not so much addressed the group, but turned to look towards the group.
So Ander is going to kind of, well, I suppose, where's Aquila standing?
Taylor, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
I was saying, I don't know, was I the one at the front in the end? Yeah, I think I was.
Tali was in the front. Was it you?
I
Or we
think
were
I
both
was.
in front? I can't remember. Okay, cool.
Let us
Oh, no,
actually decide right now what our marching order is. Let me actually bring you down. I don't think I added anything more to this map that you guys shouldn't be allowed to see. Yeah, I did. So I need to turn on the Fog of War again. there you are.
I see nothing.
Ow.
You guys should be on just the title page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do this. All right. And then I can bring you guys down here. Okay, so you should be able to see the fountain room and the temple room.
There it is.
Yeah, you're gonna
Nope.
have to scroll down quite a bit. It's a very large map.
What? Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, there I am.
Okay. Yes. Feel
Oh,
free
that's a nice
to
one. Oh, there's the dead guy.
place
anymore.
yourselves where you would like to be.
I suppose my first question is, where are we supposed to be?
Anywhere in the fountain room or the hallway leading
Gotcha.
up to the temple.
So that's all I was curious about.
Yep.
Well, I would have gone further up, but that was the only spot to go.
I know. It's like, I'm surprised Sevgi was so far forward.
I just picked a spot. That's why.
No, that's fine. So yeah.
Came back from the dead, all bold and ready to fight.
Yep.
She doesn't fear death anymore. She's already experienced it.
I mean, so have I, but I don't want to experience it again anytime soon. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go with that positioning more or less. It is a fairly narrow passageway that you're in. Outside of combat, you guys really can push past each other just fine. I mean, even in combat, moving through friendly creatures is just difficult terrain. You can do it. So you guys can move about as you see fit, but that's generally how we are positioned. Let me actually move this down to the battle map here, just because I went through the trouble of actually making this. I might as well show it off. Okay. So with the scene set as such, Persicus at the moment really is just stood there quite still, really. Shield raised, spear sort of tilted forward, but not in an attack formation, sort of planted and tilted forward in a guarding stance.
Okay.
Akila, say something.
Something.
All right. Andrew's gonna kind of move his way through the group. Come up behind Akila. Can you translate for me?
Probably, yeah.
I have an idea. Just kind of, huh?
Well, I'll hear it.
All right. Step forward, kind of in front of Akila, into the room.
You place a single step into the room, and the spear does go down, but he doesn't move.
Okay, fair. And drop down onto one knee, head kind of down.
Spear, it doesn't raise. It actually just
Right.
moves down towards the side.
Okay. Lord Persicus, I take it?
Sasahat.
For everybody, just assume when I'm speaking in Persicus that he is speaking not in modern day Janavian Common, but in ancient San. So really, the only person who can more or less understand is Akila.
She's translating, right?
Yeah,
I
we'll
will.
we'll yeah, yeah. That is I, the guardian of this tomb. You have no business here. Please leave.
We apologize for intruding. We are here to, and kind of gesture towards the dead men on the floor. We came to prevent them from making their way inside and defiling the remains of the queen.
You failed, but I have succeeded.
Yes,
They will send more.
They said as much.
They seek to bend her to their will, to their purpose. We seek to prevent that.
Oh, what was the name of the crap? 1 second.
Let me also remind you, Ander, that you are still to remember the promise you made to Mekipse and her sisters.
I know.
And when that is sufficiently challenged, we can see how it is affected. But at the moment, yes, Mekipse and her group is clearly the best choice for conservatorship over this tomb and all who, or whatever objects or what everything inside of it.
They're very much not.
What was the name of that group again?
Weavers.
I'm not sure.
Daughters of.
Not anymore. They
The-
changed their name.
The heiresses of
Oh, heiresses, that's it.
Providence. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
the hairdressers
heiresses.
of prominence.
the hairdressers of prominence. They don't use that name anymore, but you didn't really get. You're not even sure that they're necessarily a full cult or organization. It could just be those three women and their following. You didn't get any sort of name or official
Okay, fair.
founding. But you could recall back to the heiresses and extrapolate, sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna stretch the truth a little bit. We were sent by followers of the queen. Extension of her
Make an insight check.
insight.
Yeah.
I would not be translating that part
Okay.
because I remember that the prominent members of that group were all sacrificed as part of the funeral procession.
So let's break that down then. Ander, you are speaking and Aquila is not. So I'll hold on to that insight check for if anything like that is actually said.
After a second, realizing what's wrong.
Yeah, I say Aquila would say I would say about the prominent members of the heiresses of Providence having been sacrificed in the funeral procession.
Wasn't that by the people that overthrew? I don't think that's
Prosthesis
necessary.
was alive for that. He led the procession.
But was that not her followers when she was? I mean, the man is protecting the tomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't go with that. Yeah, shit, that was part of my plan. Uh,
Well, we made it about 10 minutes in.
I wasn't devolving to fighting yet. Calm down. So, you think that would not have a good response then?
Well, sacrificing them was about erasing her legacy.
All right. We've seen what these people are capable of and what they can do. You have managed to defeat some of them, but they are insidious and subtle. This was only their first attempt, and they will send more in greater numbers and with greater strength. I do not know if you are bound to this tomb by choice, but whatever your reasons for protecting it, I assure you, if they manage to make it past you, the results will be horrific for anyone still living. Not my smoothest, but eh.
The safety of this place has been compromised.
I am bound to protect this tomb from all who seek entry. And I will do so with my undying life.
But even that has limits.
Perhaps.
We seek to protect her as well. Protect her from them, from being turned into something that she undoubtedly would not have wanted. A thrall to another.
Highly unlikely. But if so, you are free to leave this place and wage war against those who would seek entry from the outside.
We cannot remain here forever. We are living.
Then what is it that you propose?
A new resting place for her.
Impossible.
Why is that impossible?
This is her tomb.
Yes, but it is not safe anymore. They will keep sending people. And they have undead as well. They have an army. We have seen it.
I am bound to protect this tomb with my undying life for the rest of time.
They have just as long to try and get to you. To her. And they have greater numbers. They got this close before with just a few of them. I have no desire to bend her will into something else. I seek that she remain resting, but I do not think it is safe for her to remain resting here.
There are those who still revere her in Sann'Kett at this time.
That is unfortunate.
I would not have said that.
Oh, you didn't say? Okay.
No, because it's like, I'm sorry, what? Because remember, you didn't mention them before. You said you
mentioned them at
wouldn't
all.
have mentioned them after the
Ah,
way that, yeah. Because I remember specifically asking you, and they're like, oh no, I probably wouldn't have mentioned that afterwards. It's like, oh, okay.
yes, there's still remnants of her cult. They were unhelpful. But they would more than likely give their lives to protect her remains.
So, it's like the Blood Hunters are would certainly not allow anything to happen to them either.
Are we sure they wouldn't just destroy them? But either way, he's the one we need to convince right now.
Yes. Like I said, they intentionally tried to erase her legacy. I'm not saying there are still people out there worshiping her.
Why would he be here protecting her if he wasn't? If he was
bound
Because
unwillingly.
evil.
She did do magic. Maybe
She
she
did.
charmed him.
But you know, she
As
was
well.
also
Well,
he was also her husband.
Was that by choice? Maybe if he's bound, we
Yeah.
can unbind him somehow.
okay. Well, if we don't think that that would be a trump card to convince him, what else you got?
I'm trying.
Well, you shot down my two good ideas. Well, ideas.
Was that her water skin?
You
We're still in a damn desert.
If you seek to protect her remains, we can get her to those who would be more than capable of defending her remains from any that would seek to defile them. Yeah?
Hmm.
Any who would seek to use them.
No, that's not even it. It's more, I don't want to necessarily discount his role as a protector.
I assume he can't leave this tomb anymore.
I know. I just don't want to make him sound incapable. It's rude.
How he was found.
Is there any way to move you with her if we could do so?
I am bound to protect this tomb with my undying life for the rest
tomb, but
of time.
Tomb, but what
I would
about
have thought it'd be more bound to protect her than just the tomb.
This is her tomb.
Yes. I'm aware of that.
so would it be possible to unbind him, or would that be too difficult?
I don't know. Magic's not my thing, unfortunately.
Let's dispel magic.
No. We want to remove her remains so that we can find a new place to protect them, to hide them.
You say you are here to protect the tomb. Are you protecting her from the outside or the outside from her?
Both.
Huh.
That makes sense.
It does.
Mm. Given what happened before.
Well, then it is even more important, or you should realize it is even more important that these men do
And
not get
women.
what they. These people do not accomplish their goals. They seek domination of the entire world. They would use her abilities, her powers, on a scale greater than anything that has ever been seen before.
They seek the elimination of all life.
Your modern wars are of no interest to me.
They should be of interest when they want to bring the Malabatahar back. When
That
they wish
must
to use
not
her as a tool.
that must not come to pass.
And that is why we wish to take the remains and hide them away.
She may not be removed.
Why?
This is her tomb. She is
What-
You
safe
were removed.
here.
She is not. If she was safe here, there would not be dead people over there.
They know where she is now. I assure you that knowledge does not die with these three.
Or there was the one you pulverized.
Yes, well.
No,
Fair.
that one got away. Who knows? They could have sent messages already to the others. There could be more on their way now.
They will not stop coming. And unfortunately, the undead is something they are very familiar with. Even if they cannot defeat you, I would not put it past them over time to be able to subvert you, control you as well. I have seen them, or we have seen them, bend powerful generals of old to their will.
They will bring people who are more prepared next time. And the time after that. And as many times as it takes.
Then it seems my future will be more eventful than my past.
What binds you to this place?
I must protect my queen, but I also must protect everyone else from her.
And we seek to do the same.
Then do so.
We are trying to.
She nor her secrets should ever be allowed to see the light of day again. This is her tomb. She will not rest anywhere else.
What's so special about it? I mean, aside from the obvious.
It is hers.
Mm-hmm.
Make an intelligence check.
Starting to pick up what you're
Nope.
putting down. Or I'm wrong. No. Can I do it?
You don't know ancient Sans.
Dang. Is Keela not translating?
She is, but, nuances of language.
Yeah.
Oh.
Direct translations are rarely possible.
True. I suppose.
Yeah, translation is halting at best.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record more than I normally do, record's not a thing, that phrase wouldn't exist. Don't know what the ancient equivalent to that is.
There isn't really one.
Parrot.
Do the names Andrasha, Deed, or Gastrea mean anything to you?
No.
Well, Gastrea is a literal goddess of undeath, and Andrasha Deed is a lich, undead being. I'm not sure on the details, but has waged a war against the
It's
living.
very difficult to translate.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
But continue.
Has waged a
I know
war.
he's getting looks from Akil. It's like, seriously, that's not a word here.
Fine. Has waged a war against the living before and very nearly succeeded. These are not just any cultists. They have brought the world to its knees once and have now learned lessons from that.
You need not convince me of the dangers of the outside.
Well, if you seek to protect the outside from her, why not just destroy her remains to prevent anyone from ever finding her secrets?
I am bound to protect my queen with my undying life for the rest of time.
If we could unbind you, release you from that duty, would you want that?
Make an insight check. Both you and Tequila.
Okay.
Can I use
Hey,
the
I'm actually
20 I
trained
had
in that
before?
Sure. Yeah, I'll let that 20 ride, sure.
It's such a good one. I hate to waste it.
What was that, Taylor?
Fuck.
Ander, you can see with that it's very difficult to tell, but there is a pause to his speech, and you can you can tell he doesn't breathe, even though he appears to be alive. He's not breathing.
Right.
Not really.
But he does look just very slightly breaking that statuesque stillness of his. Just very slightly seems to contemplate what you just said and seems conflicted. But he simply repeats, I am
Right.
bound to protect my queen, my undying life,
And
for
what
the
if you're
rest
no
of time.
longer bound?
The sun rises in the east every morning and sets in the west at the end of every day. So too, I am bound to this tomb.
Yes, but what if?
Andrew continues to look conflicted, but does not respond.
Oh, there's something to be gained from that.
Would Akila remember? Well, I guess she wasn't close enough to see.
I mean, I know the legend of what happened, that he cut out his own heart.
Put it back.
We've we know that over time, at least at some point, Dimaliba gained the power to control others, to influence those around her, which I assume is what you are protecting the world from. When you first met her, was it a real love or was it influence from the start?
I'm gonna let that insight ride for a little bit. He doesn't seem to really understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, okay. I understand why you would be conflicted if you truly loved her in the beginning, why you would want to protect her, but also why you would want to protect the world from her. And as powerful as you are one man. We represent various forces in the world that are dedicated to protecting it. We can prevent her secrets from ever getting out into the hands of those who would use them in the same way.
Not going to add that in the same way bit.
Okay.
Then you will ally these forces in the defense of this tomb.
Fortunately, disparate forces are much harder to mobilize than a unified cult. I'm sure over time we could convince them and mobilize forces. I do not believe we have that time.
Would put money on us not having that time.
Does he know how to unbind himself?
Are you waiting for somebody to say it? They ask that?
I mean, Tolly can't ask that.
No, I was
But
look at Jag.
That sounded like Tali asking the group, not waiting on a translation.
yeah,
Okay, sorry.
if Aquila wants to translate or ask him that, just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah, sure.
So you are asking Persicus if he knows how to unbind himself.
No, no.
If there
That
is a
does
way to do
sound
so.
like a bad thing to ask, honestly.
Yeah, you can rephrase it if you need to, but
Hmm. I was like, I have a couple of questions I want to ask him just out of curiosity, but they're not really productive. At least I don't think they would be.
Aquila,
Mm-hmm.
ask him if, well, either you or I, depending on which you feel more comfortable with, may inspect the bodies.
Are you
Might be
going
able
to
to
go crushing them again?
No. I want to see if there's anything on them that might help persuade him.
Fine, I'll ask.
And by that you mean the cultist bodies.
Yes.
So Aquila, you translate the question.
Mm-hmm.
Can Ander proceed to look over these corpses, basically?
Yes.
You may proceed, but no further.
Graciously bow my head and slowly walk over to the first one.
You can see, now that you're closer, much like the one back in the other room, this is a heavily desiccated corpse. It would take decades laying out in the sun, drying, to get to a point like this, but presumably they have not been here that long.
Presumably.
Well, considering they were only...
wait a minute.
There was a while where they were only about a week ahead of us.
There was also 2 men and a woman, but otherwise more or less indistinguishable. I mean, it's hard to even tell that, really.
I was going to say, it's like, you can tell?
I mean, with a high enough medicine check, looking at the hips, I mean, yeah, you could probably tell. But we're not going to worry about that. But otherwise, they are in typical cultist attire for what you would assume for the Cult of Worms. And by that, I don't mean big black cows. They're in the middle of the desert. But they do still keep a mostly dark gray with accents of black. Desert attire wear. pants and a shirt more than or robes, but they do have layers of wrapped and draped light linens and whatnot to shield them from the sun. You do, of course, find on each of them, if you proceed that far, the same cultist symbol, that clay disc inlaid with hand bones and the representation of a infant fetus, a fetal skeleton, which is always, yes, always terrible. It is always terrible. At least it's not a real one this time.
Yeah, true. There has been at least
Good.
one time where it was real.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
Other than that, feel free to ask questions, but that's general observation of these corpses.
Um,
And I assume
Can
this
I
is
make-
only Ander who proceeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. that was why I said me or Aquila, one of us.
Yeah.
Figure that would be much less likely to provoke a response.
Ander, as you do walk into this room, you, in the back of your mind, begin hearing whispers, but you can't make out what they're saying.
I assume this is not the normal Zadok whispers I'm used to.
Probably not.
Can I know, so you said that was what I saw just on initial
Mhm.
look over. Can I roll an investigation to kind of look a little bit more, see if there's anything out of the ordinary that any of them are carrying?
Sure.
Ooh.
Hacks.
Except I
I'm
think it was a pointless roll, but
I know, but I'm joking. It's just because you've rolled 2 20s and my rolls have been shit.
give it time. When I actually stumble across something and provoke a persuasion roll, that'll fail.
You find mostly what you've come to expect with the Cult of Worms and traveling through the desert. A lot of, desert survival gear, a lot of, what you would expect from cultists. They got the holy symbol, they got various weapons. They are wearing armor. At least 2 of them are wearing armor, breastplates. You do find, while ruffling through one of them, a notebook
Ooh.
that is written in modern day Sans.
So I can read it and he can cheater vision.
Similar as ancient Sans to modern day Sans.
About as similar as modern day Italian to ancient Latin. So
carry over, but
yeah.
Okay.
so there's some
Just
carryover,
curious.
but you couldn't really use one to communicate in the other.
Right. Given time, with the help of books, you could probably make a fair translation, but you wouldn't be able to communicate, off the cuff.
Yeah.
If I skim through it, I guess particularly probably towards the latter part of it, anything of any note?
This seems to be a combination research journal and it looks actually to be like a university professor's lesson plan, I guess. Combination research notes lesson plan. It is from it. You could spend some time looking this over. Let me. There it is. Stand by.
No, gonna keep sitting.
Where did you go?
Thank you for laughing at that terrible joke.
Ha.
That was a good one.
It, it wasn't, but thank you.
I liked it.
And I appreciate that.
There you are. Okay.
I like that one of Arlene's shoulders is more visible than the other.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm coming back to life slowly but surely.
You sure? I mean, because one part of you is more phased out than the other.
The lighting, because I have a lamp on this side that's kind of
Yeah.
yellow light bulb, so I think it's combining with the
Mhm.
blue and making it look green. So, art.
Sorry, we're standing by. Except not standing.
Sitting by.
Yes, this is the journal of a Dr. Gidid Abbarek. I will put that in.
What's funny is I had a professor in college with a similar name.
Huh.
Last name, not the first name. Albarak, was it?
It's right here.
Albarak. Oh, I was so close.
And it does look like this. The dates, especially as you are flipping towards the back, look very recent. This looks to be one of the ancient history and archaeology professors of some university in Sann'Kett. It doesn't have any of the iconography or seals or bureaucratic notations of the arcane census, so it's probably a private school. But it does have various notes on ancient sons. It will take a lot longer to read through these notes to get too much more details for specifics.
Okay.
But looking over it, I mean, ancient Sans the ancient Sannite culture is like saying ancient Egyptian culture. It spans thousands of years, so you're not exactly sure how well placed it is in this particular time, but seeing that it was kept on this person probably has something to do with at least the era relevant to Persicus de Maliba, yada yada. But it will take time translating and reading to get details.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Located
The-
just like the one in the fountain room, right?
What?
So can Persicus go into the fountain room? I thought I was stuck in this room.
Why?
Did it?
Why does that matter?
The whispers you said I heard, can I not understand them because of the language they're in, or just because of the faintness?
They are very faint. If you would like to try to concentrate on them and try to figure out what they're saying, you can.
Yeah, that was gonna be the follow-up. If
Okay.
yeah, try and kind of still my mind and really focus on them and see if I can figure out what the hell I'm hearing.
Okay. I need you to
Feel like-
make a charisma saving throw.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is gonna end badly.
Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah,
No.
that was a calculated risk.
Okay.
You concentrate on them. They are very faint, and they seem to be quite rhythmic. Some sort of chant or maybe prayer. You can't understand what they're saying, however. It does sound very much like what Aquila and Persicus are speaking, likely ancient Sans. You can't make out what it's saying, but there is definitely a rhythmic nature to it that is almost Not enthralling, not seducing. Has not necessarily sedative either, but it calms
Mesmerizing?
you. Mesmerizing maybe a good word, yeah. But you shake it off. You realize that concentrating on this may be giving them more power than they currently have, and you can't understand them anyway.
Yeah. Is it just kind of coming from the ether? Or can I detect a source?
Make me an Arcana check. Oh, is that at the 24 there? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the
Mhm.
sense that it is emanating from these two statues.
Hmm.
Interesting. Let's smash him.
No. Because that's
Hmm.
probably going to start us a fight.
I mean, is he particularly attached to these statues? Maybe he doesn't like him either.
Okay, if you want to, I will not stop him from skewering you at that point.
Okay.
We're not having a repeat of the fireball.
I'm gonna make my way back to the rest of the group. Well, other than journal, either stolen from or point to whichever cultist it was on. That guy's a college professor.
Well, wouldn't be super surprising. There were a bunch of arcane census mages involved in the.
Yes, I'm not surprised. Just explaining. Also, there's something emanating from those two statues. It's almost chanting. It sounds, well, I suppose it sounds like ancient songs just from hearing you two talk.
Hmm.
But definitely was supposed to have some sort of effect. I think I managed to shake it off, but just something to watch for. If you hear whispers, don't listen.
It's gonna be difficult.
Unfortunately, nothing on the cultist that would
What about that
immediately help.
statue of him? Up here.
Yeah. I mean, well, did I? That was that out of range when I was using detect magic before?
It was. Yes.
But wouldn't you still have it up at this point?
It's been
Oh,
a
no,
week, you
wait.
tell me.
That's-
So
I think I
Um,
did have it on when we walked into the room.
Yeah, that's right, because you could sense stuff from the statue.
yeah, you did sense I believe
Because the second statue came kind of more into
Hmm.
focus. The back one did as I walked in.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Necromancy and
various effects
Transmutation.
throughout those rooms.
Yeah.
The statue of Persicus does not have any magic on it.
That's a surprising result.
and what is this big thing right here?
That is an altar to Damala Batahar.
Okay.
It is raised up on a good 10 or so foot high platform. Those are the stairs leading up to that raised area. So you can't really
Yeah.
see all that much from what's on it. Looks like there's a few bowls up there, some candles.
Mm-hmm.
It is draped with a fancy cloth of some sort, but can't get much detail on it from here. You guys being goofy in chat?
No. Goofy's not the
Being a
word.
bunch of goofballs.
What?
No. Please continue.
um,
What else do we have that we might could use to convince him?
Ander, make me another insight check.
Yep, there's what I expected.
Nope, there you go. I can give you no further insight.
I don't get to make another one.
Yeah, but there was no way I should have made a 20 insight in the first place.
Sure, Aquila, you can make one, but your DC is going to be higher. Ander had the benefit of being able to read him more, and this was kind of seeing if over this time he could get a further read on him, put the pieces together of the conversation you've been having. But you're working on a much more shallow baseline.
Which is weird considering I'm the one that's been conversing directly with him.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I get it. Because my previous one was not great. It's still not great.
Yeah, I don't think I have any further insight for you. Anytime, but between Ander sharing his own insights, which I assume was brought up, I think it was brought up. It does seem that anytime you ask him about his opinion, he does seem conflicted or has trouble really identifying what exactly it is you are asking. But when you try to make any sort of argument for changing the status quo of this tomb, he seems adamantly against it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So does she have your heart?
Are you asking if she has her devotion, his love, or his physical organ?
Yes.
I know, it's like,
the above.
there's a reason it was vague.
Because those, well, that comes down to translation. Those are 3 separate words.
Oh, that's true. That would be, in another language, that would be different words.
Depends on the language, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's... The rumor was you cut out your own heart.
It is no longer mine alone.
Hmm.
So she controls your heart?
It is hers, as is the rest of me.
It's true. You certainly served her will. Why did you try so hard to erase her legacy?
She is dangerous.
Yes, that I agree.
The powers she wielded and those she served are a danger to the known world.
Yes, I saw them. Not lying. And I saw the past through another's eyes. I saw her reign.
Then you understand the dangers.
Yes. But that is why I cannot leave her in a place where others know. Where others know how to get to her.
This is not new input, and therefore he has no new response.
I know. I'm thinking.
I know we're missing something.
So, did you love her?
I have devoted my undying life to the
That
service
is
of
not
my
what I
queen.
asked. I asked if you loved her. Those are not the same thing.
He continues to look perplexed and conflicted and does not respond.
Okay. Because I did wonder why you survived the assassination.
I did not.
I was there. I was with the procession. You at least were physically alive.
I was
Oh,
not.
maybe he was undead during the
No, yeah, he
procession.
was. It's like, wait. You were already undead?
That's how he cut out his own heart, because he didn't need it. Interesting.
I am
How did he
bound to protect my queen with my undying life for the rest of time.
Wait, when did you die?
I died protecting my queen.
During the assassination? Before that?
It was long ago.
Yes. But it's not like you've had a whole lot to do here until now.
So, oh my goodness. So were you dead the whole time or undead?
Or at least unalive.
He seems uncertain what you are asking.
Like,
Or ask again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this because I'm wondering if she killed him and undeadified him to keep him with her during her entire reign before she got killed.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
actually
did
very
Sid,
interesting.
I was gonna say, throughout her memories, did he ever seem to get older?
Aquila, yes, through Sahemi's memories, Persicus did appear to age. He also seemed a lot more eloquent and boisterous, animated, than what you are currently witnessing.
Yeah.
I was on something.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of are.
It kind of are. It's like,
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
there. Getting there.
like much stiffer than the Persicus from
So
memory.
Who brought you back? Did she bring you back, or did somebody else bring you back?
I am bound to protect my queen, my undying life, for the rest of time.
And Ander was worried about sounding like a broken record.
I do not know of these records of which you
Hey,
speak.
I didn't do it in the accent. You don't get to do that.
There's a hieroglyphic 45s.
Oh. Cut out of stone instead of vinyl.
It's just it's just the bangles on repeat.
Oh, I hate you for that.
Walk like an Egyptian.
It's like, oh, you terrible, terrible person.
Could also be the cranberries.
I get
Yeah.
that one too.
Zombie.
Yep.
No.
I made that joke last week. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody caught it, but I made the joke last week.
I was like, I don't remember it. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, which means I don't remember it.
Got any other ideas down this line of questioning?
Why is there a statue of you in the room?
There are depictions of me throughout this tomb. I am its guardian.
Yeah,
And
but there's
her
only
king.
one of them. There's not like an accompanying statue on the other side, so the symmetry's off. Was there another one?
You the other one?
If you're going to have flanking statues, there's usually a pair for either side.
There was not.
We're gonna confuse him to the point where he dematerializes.
Yeah.
What about the two statues in the middle? What are those for?
They are the devoted.
The devoted.
Well, Prosthesis was not the only one to go into the tomb. There were several. I don't remember how many. I think I was too far away to get count.
Well, I'm out of ideas on how to convince.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not giving us anything really.
Well, I mean,
Really
he gave us some
expect-
stuff,
He's
just
been
nothing
very
that we know how to
specific
use
in what he's said.
Yes,
about.
I know
Yeah.
he's
I
been very
realize that.
specific,
So I'm trying to
but we're also idiots.
like, if I look at the wall, do I see any kind of like, I don't know, like kind of like the thing that we saw in Race with that tomb where they had like the
The
not the
runes?
yeah, the runes. Yes. Are there any
Mm,
runes in this room?
Yeah, I mean,
There's
is there any writing in general on the
there's-
walls?
spatterings of writing in ancient Sans that Aquila and Ander can parse over, and they basically just look like either descriptions of her life, uh, poetic praising of her, or prayers.
I was going to say, are they accurate?
Accuracy comes down to context.
I was there.
You were one person with one perspective. There are
I know.
plenty of people who would praise her and would say fabulous things about her. There are also those who would curse her and say terrible things about her. Both are equally accurate. These are entirely the former.
Okay.
There are no celestial, infernal, or otherwise arcane runes in this room.
I didn't
No.
expect there to be.
Thought I'd check. Just in case. Mm,
Don't protect this
one
tomb
for
with
its
my undying life.
undying. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Bound to protect. Crap, where did I write it?
Protect the
Bound to protect
tomb.
my queen.
Bound to protect the tomb and bound to protect his
This
queen.
tomb.
Yep.
His tomb and his queen. The,
Quick,
this
give me some
undying life
ye
for
olde
the rest of
dynamite.
time. Bound.
There's no
You can't-
tomb.
Bound to protect this tomb with my undying life. I mean, he's already undead, so
Yeah, but
He's
the
certainly
rest of
not
time.
alive.
undead things can be made re-dead.
You have to kill him first. Is what he's saying.
Essentially, yes.
Or unbind him. But I don't know if that's.
I didn't come here to fight. I don't want to. Or maybe fight the cultists.
Bound to protect this tomb with my undying life for the rest of time. Okay.
Maybe the best way to protect the queen is by letting us take her.
I think we've tried to make that argument, and he
Oh, I
didn't
wasn't
seem
saying it to
receptive.
him.
Oh.
Just from the sense like, oh, maybe some different thinking.
I don't
Heart
think
is
the
no longer
undead
his
necessarily.
alone. Yeah, his heart is hers, as is the rest of him.
Well, he's very much not like Persicus was when he was alive.
Now, 2,000 plus years of being stuck alone in a tomb could, have
Yeah,
some
I did
effect on
wonder if he'd
someone's
been
psyche,
aware the
but
entire time. Yeah, I
Could have
was like, I
taken
was
a nap.
wondering if he was like aware the entire time, or if he sort of just woke up when people entered.
you could ask.
Sure, I'll ask.
Time has long since lost meaning for me.
You would still have a sense of its passing, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I am bound to protect this tomb with my
I would have
undying
thought someone would be more talkative at that
undying
point.
life the rest of the time. Okay. and her secrets can never be allowed to see the light of day. What about at night? She come out at night.
The freaks come out at night.
um,
You've solved the puzzle. You just need to wait for it to get dark, and then he'll let her leave.
that's it. That's the solution.
In
Sorry.
2,000 years, grave robbers and historians have never attempted to access the tomb at after dark.
Nope.
I mean, to be fair, historians probably wouldn't have. Because the dark be dangerous.
Do. I know. I want to smash those statues, but I'm gonna wait.
Don't smash the statues. That will definitely end us in a fight. But I totally want to smash them too. I don't blame you.
The one argument you have made has failed. Let's just start smashing shit.
You're right.
If we just borrow her until the cult leaves,
We'll give her back, I promise.
like, oh, she's gone. They already got to her, and as soon as the cult leaves, we'll put her back.
No, we won't.
He doesn't have to know that though.
I'm sure he's dumb enough to fall for that.
And he's been by himself for 2,000 years, you know.
I know, like I said, I'm surprised he's not a little more talkative at that point. Like, are you even really Prosthesis?
Oh,
Is that a question you ask?
Sure.
I am what remains.
Let's see. So not whole.
did also mention the sun, but I don't know if that's relevant here.
Oh, I need somebody who's better at this than me.
So I know that I wish
I'm
I
trying
wish
to.
OBS recorded timestamps because I know I made a comment in the Twitch chat about how it's important to give players time in social combat to allow them to think things through and plan things just like it were normal combat. But we've been silent for quite a bit, so
Yeah.
I mean,
I have
feel free
37.
to ask questions, I guess. Talk out what you want to go through. Let's just find some way to move this story forward.
Well, I do have my Dispel magic spell prepared. I don't know if that could affect him. Maybe if I cast it at a higher level. Or my my
I mean, I wouldn't
destroy
blow
undead.
your big spell.
I would be very doubtful that you can dispel him.
Maybe
Not him,
dispel
then
the
maybe the
statue, though.
statue. Yeah.
I mean, my original play had been hoping he was still fairly brainwashed and pulling out the heiresses of Providence, but thankfully we didn't, because he's not. But that also kind of shot my idea to hell.
It was also very much not willing to mention them.
Well, as I said, it was a good thing we didn't probably, but that was my plan, was to
Hmm.
assure him that she had followers still who would take care of her remains, but that was also predicated on him still being fully enthralled or not realizing the shit she had done.
I'm wondering if
Clearly
maybe
not.
he's like,
Clearly realized the shit she'd done.
yeah, I'm wondering if maybe he's like, the way he's bound has him stuck in there and he doesn't want to be bound. So I was hoping that
He certainly
maybe if he
seems
can
conflicted
unbind
over
him,
being bound.
he can tell us how to unbind him and then he'll just leave. I don't know, or do something.
I mean,
Maybe the statues help keep him bound.
maybe.
What kind of energy comes off the statues again? It's you know what? Actually, I got it right here. I'm just necromantic.
Oh, there was a second
Necrotic or
one.
whatever you want to call it. Oh, the necromantic / transmutation ore was from the sand itself, and that was Persicus.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's that one. The statues are just necrotic or necromancy, whatever you want to call it.
Necromantic.
Necromantic. Okay. See, I thought I had it right the first time.
Necrotic's a little different. I don't know. I'm tired.
I really want to try to spell magic on the statues.
I'm not going to stop you. But I have suspicions of what will happen.
I mean, with long enough
Yeah.
pauses, chaotic stupid will take over.
Mm-hmm.
We are all kind of lined up in this tunnel.
I
Or
know.
this hallway, I mean. We'd have to get into the room.
Don't think he really wants us in the room.
No, not really. Yep.
Though, I mean, if we're going to make to leave, then you know, trying to be good for him to let us through the front door.
There wasn't any kind of aura coming from this altar here, was there?
No.
Okay. Just checking. I feel like either the statues have to do with him being bound, or the statues are like the ones in Shiloh's tomb, where they're gonna come back and also help fight people.
Oh, yeah, that part I definitely believe.
So if I dispel magic, then maybe they won't.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead if you want to dispel magic. No one is telling you not to.
Just be aware that might be construed as a hostile action. Also, you need line of sight. You don't need line of
Standing
sight.
behind me.
You don't need line of sight, actually. You just need to know they're there.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Yeah.
And my range is 120 feet, so I
Yeah, it's like I'm in front of her.
it's like all the way over here.
So you're casting Dispel Magic.
Yes.
At
I'm
what
just
level?
gonna do it. Let me check my spell slots. Hold on.
Let me check.
43rd or 4th. Mm-mm-mm. Come on now.
Andrew, did you return to the passageway after inspecting these corpses?
When it seemed like Aquila was having a conversation, I probably would have kind of stepped behind her.
Yeah.
So I wasn't blocking the conversation. And then especially if I heard Dolly casting, like, oh god.
Yeah,
Don't
I'll
wanna
do
be
it at
caught
4th
out.
level.
But since Aquila was leading the conversation, I would have let her also lead the
I
group.
can throw the spell up here. Spell magic. I know I've used it before.
Yes, you definitely have.
Spell.
That was how we ended up throwing a bunch of people across the room.
And breaking an altar.
Spell magic?
What?
Yeah, the altar.
The altar you guys
Oh, right.
totally broke by dispelling the magic on it.
Oh, that one, yeah. I'm sorry,
We
I've
did.
already erased that from my memory. Haven't, actually.
I clicked it. Why is it
Okay,
not pop up?
you're casting it at 4th level. I need you
Yes, I am.
to make a wisdom ability check, and it is an ability check, not a skill
that's
check,
why.
so it does not get proficiency. It's just d20 plus your wisdom.
All right. So that's gonna be.
Using your spell casting ability.
Yeah,
So, that's wisdom, right?
Whoops. That was not supposed to be with that advantage, but 11.
I like the advantage.
And 11, you cast Dispel magic, and there is no immediate change.
Darn. Okay. Does Prosthesis do anything?
The spear, which was previously sort of just down at the side in a sort of relaxed, but I still have a pointy stick stance, is now brought back in the direction of the party, but he has not made any other
Not
action.
Whoops,
Scared of
sorry.
your pointy stick.
You
Okay,
have
well, that didn't
increased
do
his
anything.
hostility level, but not to the point of immediate assault.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. Just checking out the statue. You know.
Well, thank goodness I've got squishy people behind me.
Mm. Guess that did nothing.
Ander, I should note, though you probably assumed as such, once you step back into the passageway past Aquila, the whispers stopped. You guys have any other ideas? Or are you gonna let Shliva turn into a T-Rex and just start wrecking things?
I don't know. I might.
Yeah, leave a T-Rex sounds like a good.
Unfortunately, Shliva cannot T-Rex just yet.
Aw.
Yet.
And then why even bring it up? Now my hopes are all crushed.
Yeah.
Because that's a classic thing.
Okay. What other spells do I have here?
As a
I was just going to say, this isn't a puzzle for you to solve. This is a
Mhm.
social encounter.
Right.
I'm not like, you need to use this spell to convince him. You need to dispel this certain thing to
No.
make him
Yeah.
disappear.
realize that. I'm
No,
trying to
I'm
think
just
of any
trying to
other
see if
arguments to
there's-
make, but
I know,
But
same.
The arguments you made have either elicited responses that it is either impossible or he is adamantly against, or both.
Nothing's impossible.
Or
as a Hail Mary, I realize not a thing. We haven't actually asked him how he's bound or what would unbind him.
Because I don't
I-
expect him to
I
answer.
think you have, more
Yeah,
or
it's like I
less.
feel like I
But he's
Oh,
given the same
okay.
responses that he is bound to the tomb, to his queen, yada yada.
Da, 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 da.
You don't know if he
Which
knows and
implies
is not
destroy
telling you. You don't know if he's uncertain. You even get the sense from the vague
He might
changes
not
in
know.
his statuesque appearance that he may not know or might not even understand what you're asking. Remember, most enchantment magic, you are not aware that you are being enchanted.
Right.
It is just you are proceeding as you normally would. There is nothing wrong.
Right.
Wonder if I can dispel his magic then.
The question, did you love her or are you under some sort of compulsion, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
The compulsion would be as if he naturally loved her.
Right. Are you?
That's the last idea, and then I vote we rush him.
Real quick, it's gonna go badly. I'm gonna try one more dispel magic on Persicus this time.
Okay. At what level?
Or is it dispel magic or remove curse?
I have a remove curse prepared right now, so
Hmm.
to try. Or, let's see, hold on. 3/4 level spells
Also,
here
it's
that I'll
getting
need.
very thundery out here.
No, I'll be right. It was thundery over here and then it stopped.
Yeah, it came over
I'm
here.
gonna do another wisdom.
What level are you casting at?
Fourth
Okay.
level.
Make your wisdom ability check.
20. That wasn't 20. Does that do anything?
It breaks everything again.
Do anything?
The whole tomb just collapses and you all die.
Well,
No,
that
it
would.
should only affect him.
It's true.
Because I pick one object, creature, or magical effect, and that is him.
Unless he's holding the tomb together.
Is he?
That would suck.
No, he's not a load-bearing boss, is he?
Load-bearing Prosthesis.
Something happened. Otherwise, Jack wouldn't be thinking about it so hard.
But what is the question?
Well,
I don't know.
There is
How?
there is precedence that this could do something or absolutely nothing.
Oh, and you've got a spelling error in your spell, Tali.
Do I? Where?
Make an ability check.
Oh. Inability check, bitch. Gotta go back and fix that now. It's bothering me.
No, nothing happens.
Ah,
man.
That's garbage.
He does, however,
Eh.
fully brace his spear, drop into an attack stance, and takes a step forward. Your assault on this tomb shall not proceed. Leave, or I will destroy you.
Made no assault on the tomb.
Yeah, it wasn't on the tomb. I'm just trying to help. Okay, I got something I can try here. Hopefully. Oh, wait. Okay, so there's 3 there. Try a thunder wave to try and push him back a little bit to give us more room to get in the tomb.
That sounds like a terrible idea. For multiple reasons. We're underground.
And it's super, super loud. Yeah, thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet. Aquila would die.
It's like, also, you've got 2 people in front of you.
Well, if I what if I scooch forward?
No.
Okay, fine. Um, not shatter.
No.
I mean,
No, that would.
is the rest of the party just letting Tali rapid fire cast spells for essentially 3 rounds now? Or are you guys doing anything?
Well, I did have a question I was going to ask, but I feel like now the hostility levels are high enough that
It's definitely
He's not
increased.
gonna answer.
You guys talked him
yes.
down to a very amicable position, but multiple unannounced offensive spells against him and his has raised his level up to at least where he was to begin with, if not higher.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
tried to talk to him, but he didn't give us anything we could work with. So
So Tali blasted him.
She didn't,
yeah,
though.
so I started blasting.
I figure I'll make a last play before this completely derails. I understand your desire to protect this place, as I said. I understand your inner turmoil and conflict. But we cannot leave here until we are sure that Dima Liba will not fall into the hands of these people. We did not come to fight you, but and if there's anything we can do to convince you to let us pass, we are willing. But otherwise, we will have to resort to violence as much as it pains us to do so.
We
If
have no
there's
luck to
any,
fight you.
if there's any way we can convince you to let us pass,
You need not convince me. She may not be removed from this tomb. You may stay and protect if you wish, but you, nor no one else, will see her or her powers restored ever
We
again.
don't want to see her powers restored. We want her hidden away where no one can find her.
Then hide this place, for this is hers.
Then why was there made a way to find it in the first place?
I believed it lost to time.
But why did you make a way then? That doesn't make sense.
I did not build this place.
Okay. Fair. The fuck do we have a place like this? Especially when others already know about it.
some way to hide it more than it already was.
What was that?
Does he know of any way to hide it more than it already was? I don't have a method of reburying this thing deeper than it was, but if there's something that
All
some
who
mecha-
knew were killed before. Memory lost to time.
Unfortunately, nothing is ever lost forever if there are those who look
She
hard
wasn't
enough.
erased completely. She is still known of in the city.
That is unfortunate. But not unexpected.
No. She is, in general, only thought of as a minor, mostly unimportant ruler, I will say.
That illusion must be maintained.
Yes, but that doesn't help us, keep cultists from getting back here. So at least they're not going in through that altar anytime soon.
Your words are honeyed, and you have fair knowledge.
My words are honeyed. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
But if you do not get your way, you threaten to act as the raiders who have come before, and you will be treated as such. I am bound to protect this place and my queen. Here, your freedoms may allow you to do so in other ways, but mine does not. There is nothing more left for you here but my undying pursuit. If you wish to protect this place, leave and do so.
Then help us do so.
How? I am bound here. You
Yes.
are not. I will protect this place, my undying breath, for all of time. Undying life.
I know, that's why I stopped myself. I stopped myself.
Akila, make another intelligence check because he said something multiple times again. Could do with some more refined translation.
Picking my not great skills. Yep, my not
Oh.
great skills.
No.
I know, it's like wisdom not bad.
Yeah, I feel like there's a compromise or something right there, and I just am not quite getting to it.
Maybe we should just have Tali shatter the entrance to this place.
Well, I
Well,
did
that seems like a
consider.
temporary solution.
Yes.
They're all probably temporary when you
I
get
was
down
thinking
to it.
about it too. Yeah.
The only two ways we prevent them from getting a hold of her are destroying her body or putting it somewhere where they can't find it and can't get to it. This place is no longer it.
Yeah.
And unless anyone has anything I'm missing to move this tomb,
So that he's bound to this tomb. We didn't say that Themalib is bound to the tomb.
yeah, well, it's
Said
clear
she
he's not going to
cannot
let us
be
past.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you there's only one direction he's going to let us move.
Anyone got anything else?
I hate these dice. I hate these virtual dice. They're worst.
Yeah, I got
Very well.
as much as I want. I got nothing.
Well, short of turning around, got to move forward and start something.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, move out here at least.
You move into the room.
Well, we got to get out somehow. We can't go back the way we came.
So I ask again. You move into the room.
Yeah.
Everyone roll initiative.
Oh, damn it. How else was I supposed to get out?
The way you came.
We literally can't. There's
No.
golems that'll kill us.
That's not
And in
his
fact,
problem.
It's probably wedged into the passageway, so we really can't get in there.
Oh, shit, I forgot to
Actually-
click my token again.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, hey, the golem's back.
Hey,
Go away, golem!
Balls.
initiative.
Crawls up out of the
It's a very dexterous goal.
fountain.
Suddenly much smaller.
Just burst through the floor.
Well, that's unexpected.
Wow.
Rolling
Okay,
like
Andrew.
shit. No, I'm not. Sorry, that was Sevgi's roll. I thought I rolled 9. And then I'm like, wait, I don't have a... I was like, I have a decimal point.
Mhm. That's not right.
That's not as good.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah, I mean, that one was pretty obvious. Wait, what?
I knew
Okay.
it. There is something else in this room.
Yeah, Aquila, as soon as you step in the room, Persicus was honestly hostile looking, but does flinch in your direction as if he's getting ready to charge and attack. But this does prompt initiative, and you are the first to be aware of this and able to move. I mean, it's up to you if you drop straight into combat, if you want to continue to try to defuse the situation. I mean, just because we clicked initiative does not mean it's necessarily combat, but Prosthesis did not give Aquila permission to enter the temple.
Um, I am actually going to hold. If Persicus attacks, well, no shit, because if I no, that's damn it. I'm used to holding cantrips, not actual spells.
Yeah, if you hold a full spell and it
Yeah,
doesn't
right,
go, it
right.
fizzles.
You're right, exactly. And I've only got so many of those.
Two, in fact.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I really want to try and diffuse this, but I don't know how. But I also don't think there's anything else we can do. I'm actually just gonna cast Armor of Zadok on myself.
Okay.
And nope. Well, cool. And hold my position for the moment.
Okay. Aquila, you notice as you are presumably trying to get to the door that Persicus turns hostile.
I was just trying to leave. We can't go back the way we came in. It's blocked.
Then unblock it.
We can't.
It's the conversation you get in 6 seconds.
Yep.
Okay. The devoted. These two statues, which depict ancient Sannite women, two of them down on both their knees in a sort of prayer-like position, slightly bent forward. Yes.
I was gonna say, it's like, could I hold an attack if something approaches me?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. These statues raise from their kneeled positions and turn towards the group. Aquila, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Ooh.
Actually, go ahead and make it 2 charisma saving throws.
Oh.
Did I pass the first one to make it even worth doing the second one?
You did.
There it is.
The second one, however, you failed.
Yeah.
You are considered charmed. You are now devoted to the service of Demon Liba and have no wish to attack anyone or even leave this chamber. This is where you belong, forever in worship to your queen.
Hey,
Oh.
nope. Hey.
I mean, it's still what we wanted to do, protect Team Liba, but just in a different way.
Aquila, you forget your intent to attack anyone, drop to both your knees in prayer of your goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Shliva, you've been in the back this whole time. I don't know what you're doing back in the fountain room, but apparently something's going down.
Yeah, I've been working on drying myself and my best friend off.
Mm-hmm.
Probably very, very much trying to calm Krishka down, and probably basically have no idea what's going on in there. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's not even sounds of combat at this point. It's whispers that got to Aquila, and other than that, just the muttering of language you don't understand. So yeah, it makes sense that you just continue what you're doing. Krushka at this point is fairly calm. I mean, you're still in an unknown area. She's not happy with the whole, being underwater thing for an extended period of time. But this conversation took a good 2 hours, so there was a lot of quiet thinking time for you guys as players. So this conversation probably took a good 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, I don't see any reason for you to do anything other than what you've been doing.
Is this actually a dead body over here?
It is a crushed dead body. Yes, it was the desiccated remains of a cultist member, but Ander stomped its chest and head in.
Hmm. Gross.
It was like powder at that point.
Yeah.
Well, part of him was.
Tali, you are in the back of the group and really don't notice much anything going on aside from, his drop into an aggressive stance, but he's been like that since you cast your Dispel magic.
And Tali cannot see Aquila kneeling
Nope, not from this angle.
thing. Well, she saw Aquila go in, and what would Tali do? I know she saw a dude turn hostile. Well, that means Aquila needs help. Can I even go that far? Hold on. 5, 10, 15, 25.
It's difficult
30,
terrain to move through friendly squares.
So, because moving to here is 25.
Yeah.
Would I go straight or turn? I'll tell her to probably come over here to not block the hallway, but yeah.
Okay.
Have to do the charisma saving throw too?
No.
Oh, sweet. The Aquila kneeling?
Yes.
Interesting.
She is kneeling,
Why don't we
facing
have-
the altar now, and muttering something quietly.
I'm going to take a dodge action
Okay.
because Tali does not really quite understand what is going on right now.
You brace yourself for whatever is going on right now. Sevgi, you're also here.
Yeah. I guess I'll hold a dodge action for right now. I literally have no idea what I should do right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So are you just holding for the situation to change?
Yeah.
Okay. That's reasonable enough. At this point, the sands around Prosthesis begin to swirl again and actually coil off in the direction of the corpses of the cultist. Sand envelops them, pouring into their now empty and desiccated eye sockets, mouth, nostrils, pouring over the bones into the rib cage. And they get coated in sand, and they very jerkily stand up. All right. Let's see. Where's my execants? The first one that moved had to use its dash action to get up to Tali. The second one, however, manages to get there in enough time to make a slam attack against you, Tali.
With disadvantage, because I'm dodging.
That is true. All right. Nothing happens. It slams into the wall as you parry it away with your shield.
Nope.
The other one's just going to move up to here. I can get rid of these bodies because they're now animated. Okay. Then it's Persicus' go. Ander, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Man, you guys. Okay. Okay. Ander.
With a +7.
Persicus turns to you, and you can see his eyes pretty much go black. Not the inky black that happens to you, but they sort of turn into black sand and begin to smolder. Kind of reddish, sort of charcoal effect. And you are overcome with fear. You didn't. Okay, good. Yes, you are frightened from this target. So you cannot. This is the conditioned frightened, which doesn't dictate that you move away. You just cannot get any closer. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear, which is Persicus. Prosthesis is then going to move forward and attempt to no, he's not playing nice against Tali. So let's do one of these. Okay, let's do one of these. A 15 does not hit you. And again, I don't know why it
Not to mention
defaults
that would still
showing.
have
There we go.
disadvantage since she is still dodging, right?
That is true. Disadvantage. Not that it matters, but here's the disadvantage roll. And then he's
So with dodge, is all attacks against me have disadvantage? Because that's awesome. I thought
Yeah.
it was just the first one.
Nope, it's all attacks.
Cool.
Dodge is super useful.
Yeah, until the start of your
That's
next
super useful.
turn. Yeah.
Cool. I like this.
Then I really didn't put that in there. I'll worry about that later. It should have the same attack roll at the well. Let me just do this. And it gets disadvantage, but that doesn't matter because that doesn't hit anyway. Okay, so Persicus does walk up and tries to lay a hand on you. You do jerk your shoulder out of the way, and with that reaction, he thrusts. He picks his spear up again and thrusts it towards you, and you do parry it out of the way. That's what he's got. Ander, we're back to you.
Well, so I suppose since I am frightened, I'm gonna cast a just panic Eldritch Blast since he kind of moved towards me,
Okay.
which I realize has disadvantage.
Yes.
So
You do manage to hit with your panicked Eldritch Blast for 8 force damage.
and there's 2 of them. 12 probably doesn't though.
12 does not. No.
Yeah. And then um, what was that? Oh right. 5, 10. Kind of just pushes past Zevgi, panicked, like kind of freaking out, runs around the corner, and Shliva, uh, angry ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Akila, I hate to do it to you. You spend your turn praying. The devoted.
I'm sorry. I'm not angry. I'm just super uncomfortable.
Tali, since you are the only one in this room who is not also devoted,
Yes.
I need you to make 2 charisma saving throws.
But I think I get advantage from being an elf, right?
It is a charm
It
effect,
is
he
considered
said.
a charm effect.
So hold on. Advantage on saves against being charmed. Heck yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. You said charisma?
Yes.
Nope. No. The second one succeeds.
Well, that's
First one
fine because the
failed.
first one did what it needed to. Tali, you stop
Dang
dodging.
it. I had a plan.
You
You
moving
know we have poor charisma, and you
forth.
throw this at us.
I honestly figured the advantage would help, but I mean, there's still three and a badger of you left.
Still more.
Tali,
hope.
your shoulders go slack as you forget why you are dodging from these 3 obviously hostile creatures around you, overcome with devotion to your goddess, Queen Dimaliva, now the deified Damalabatahar. You fall down to your knees in prayer and begin muttering something that even you don't understand. Moving on. Shliva.
Yeah. If I were to move into the doorway here,
Mm-hmm.
would I have line of sight on um, scary ghost, quote unquote?
Yes. Yes, you would.
I said angry ghost.
That's fair.
Angry scary ghost.
I'm scared of it, but it's just angry specifically.
So, is obviously he has a spear. Is he wearing armor of some description?
Yes, he is wearing what looks like bronze scale mail, over sort of period specific linen tunic and leather. Likewise, he does have bronze braces and greaves. He is wielding a bronze-tipped spear and has a shield emblazoned with the morning sun in his general motif as a guardian of the dawn.
Okay. I am going to come around the corner here, and I'm going to cast Heat Metal on him at 3rd level, specifically targeting his bronze scale mail.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
If I can post it if you'd like.
all right, there's no save or anything on that, is it? It just sticks and keeps going.
So the way that it is written, if they're holding or wearing the object and they take damage from it, which they will. Immediately, they must succeed on a con save or drop the object if they can do it. But all dropping the object, like the damage, is taken regardless. There's no save from the damage, and presumably, he can't just willingly not be in his scale mail anymore, or at least that is the hope.
That is the hope. Yeah. Okay. So you immediately do 15 fire damage.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this procs again on his turn, your turn.
So I can
bonus action on your
turn. I can choose to trigger it as a bonus action on my subsequent turns.
Okay. Nice. I will even say, as you see these bronze scales begin to heat up, there is a smoldering from underneath them. He doesn't react physically as if he's in pain, but there is a charring and a spreading to this burned effect.
I will then use more movement and move to here.
All right.
And as a bonus action, I will direct Krushka to kill, basically. And Krushka will run in to combat range.
It does cost 10 feet to get past Sevgi.
Yes, it's
Okay,
cool.
cool. Okay. That takes her dash, right? Or does she have extra movement?
No.
No?
That's it.
Okay. Tali, you are consumed with prayer. Sevgi.
Usual.
Just the wrong prayer.
The wrong deity, but I get confused sometimes.
A large badger just sort of pushed past you, knocking you into the wall a bit, and jumping towards Persicus. sort of doesn't bat it away, but keeps Krushka at bay with his shield.
Mm, I. I guess I'll try and. I don't know. Sorry. I guess could I just magic missile Prosthesis while I'm here? Okay. So 18 points altogether.
Okay. Gotcha. 5 missiles shoot from the tip of your staff, swarm over Krushka and slam into Persicles past his shield, past his now scalding scale mail armor, slam into him. Okay. I assume that's all for you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Persicles comes after the Execants, so they're going to proceed with what they were doing, actually, and take some hits against Holly.
Oh, damn it.
Where are my Execants? There they are. No longer at disadvantage. Do I want to consider you prone? Unfortunately, 5th edition doesn't have a flat-footed distinction for armor class. Because you're not really fighting back, it's really just your armor. But I don't think dexterity really helps you anyway, so it's just rolling against your armor. So we'll just make straight rolls.
Second one definitely hits.
The first one impacts, but not with enough to actually even jar you, really. The second Excant, however, sees this and slams both hands down on your shoulders, which does 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, also on your turn, I forgot. I need you to make 2 con saves.
Okay.
And take some damage. That's why these things are dangerous. That's right.
Oh, con save 19. 4.
Okay. You take 9 points of fire damage. This was actually at the start of your last turn. You take 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
and you are considered dehydrated.
Oh.
You suffer disadvantage on any checks made to resist the effects of hot conditions until you consume a full day's worth of water.
Oh, wow. She thirsty.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
With this slam, however,
Oh. Sorry. I just got something.
being thrust down on your shoulders, you are broken from your prayer. Shake your head away from the effect, and you are no longer considered devoted.
Could I use my reaction to do my Wrath of the Storm thing?
We'll
Or is
say
it,
it's immediate enough to do that. I'll give it to you. Yeah.
cool? Yes, finally I get to use it. It comes up. Do I have that in here? Or what is it? Oh, Dex saving throw DC of 15
Great.
for the. That just attacked me.
Okay.
Ah,
It
11.
fails.
That's 2d8. 2d8 lightning damage. I'm just gonna roll this way. That's 13.
Lightning
13
damage.
points of zappies.
Okay, 13 points of zappies. Call that number 2. It's 13 points of zappies. Okay. It does convulse with the electricity a bit, but it is a dead creature and can only react so much. There's even a slight glassing effect to some of the sand that's surrounding the corpse of this creature, as little shards of almost like needle glass fall from the creature. Okay, that brings us to Persicus, who now has a large badger jumping at him.
So he actually has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, because he's all heated.
Right. Yes. With that,
Yeah,
I think
because
we had a conversation.
He physically cannot drop the object, so
Right.
he can't
he's
drop
wearing-
it, but he can turn it into sand once more. His scale mail turns to sand and drops off of him.
Oh.
But now he's not wearing armor.
He is no longer wearing armor. He does have a shield, but he is no longer armored. Shliva, you feel the concentration effect of this spell drop as it no longer has a target. And yeah. Let's get a wisdom saving throw from Krushka. Uh, 23.
Ooh.
Krushka is
That's a wise
unafraid.
badger.
Yeah.
Wise.
I'm
Only slightly
It's
less
all-
so than me.
a little upset that Badger beat me by so
Yep.
much.
Yep.
It's all instinct.
Okay.
I mean, I trained a badger to write their own name.
That's actually a fair
I
point.
would hope that she has some mental capabilities.
Yep.
Douche.
That's a fair point. He failed to frighten a badger.
Fucking feral badger, man.
Oh, I know, but it's still funny.
It was told
Right.
to kill.
He frightened the warlock, but couldn't frighten the badger.
Yeah.
Okay, he is going to...
Hey, you
I'll
left
worry
one of the
about putting this
Exicants
in.
out.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a target. I mean,
Hmm.
no, Persicus did move, so this one can move up here. No, it's actually going to spend its dash and move all the way up here.
Oh.
It's not going to block Persicus. Yes, we're gonna go with, 2 spear attacks. That is a 23 against Krushka.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't include this in here, and I really should have. Let's see here. Then we go. Takes 7 points of piercing damage. And once more, yep.
Damn.
And another 5 points of piercing damage. Bats Krushka away with the shield, stares down at her, but Krushka does not flee, growls back at Persicus, but is phased enough that she gets 2 solid jabs at her.
I mean, hey, if you can't hit a giant badger in the middle of a very long, narrow hallway, you probably don't deserve to be the strongest warrior.
Yeah.
Whatever his title is.
Yeah. Okay. That will bring us up to the top of the round, but we are at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I know Steven said you couldn't go any longer.
Unfortunately, no.
So, I think we're going to stop it here. This room had a number of ways it could have gone, and this is the way it went.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had one side adamantly opposed to what the other side was adamantly for, and there was no give or take. So
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Well, not one of our flashier episodes, but with it being a half session, we could only get to so much, and social combat, if you even want to call it that, can get bogged down. Only some people are it takes a person trained in improv or acting to really just off the cuff just keep going with what's coming up. So I have no problem with people needing to take time, absorb the conversation, plan out what they want to say, and all that. So dialogue can take a lot longer in game than it does, or out of game than it does in game. It's kind of what we had today, but I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, I would say a lot of information was exchanged, but it was not necessarily productive. So I suppose we'll pick up next week with the continuation of this dungeon. And I am still very interested to see how it goes, because there is definitely plenty more to this. There was a possibility that if this went well, we could have just ended here, but that wasn't the case. I think it was, I don't want to say a long shot, but it
was a long shot.
I was hoping, I was kind of hoping it would work out that way, but not something I necessarily thought was all that certain to actually work out. Okay, so we do, unfortunately, I suppose, have a combat on our hands, and it seems to already be devolving into a mess. People dropping to their knees, other people not knowing what's going on.
People are frightened.
Yeah, others are frightened. Yeah, and any attempt to breach through into this room has not gone particularly well, and we're kind of bottlenecked at this point. So we'll see what becomes of all of this next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not starting off on the best foot.
I think I
Yeah.
might have a spell to help that.
Well, we'll see what we come up with throughout the week and what happens next session. I feel like it's just break time and we just need to take a break and come back, but it's not. So I have to work into my outro. Only so much to say for this game. I don't think, because it was a half session and because Steven is leaving us, I think we'll hold off on this week and we'll do the after show for all of this content next week. I'm sure there's things to be said about this game. I'm sure Taylor has some words for me. None of them very nice. But we'll have the talks we need to throughout the week. But I think as far as the after show, we'll save that for next week when we sort of contextualize this with hopefully more of the dungeon, or at least out of game perspectives. We'll see what happens. With that, I think that's all we got. Thanks for tuning in. I know it wasn't one of our flashiest episodes, but I think it had a lot of information. I think even with how long the conversation took, it was very interesting. It was a very interesting conversation. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, thank you for joining us. Check out the channel throughout the week. I know this week is going to be a little wonky for me, so stay tuned. Check out Twitter and Discord. That's the two main avenues for seeing what I am up to throughout the week. And if you did happen to like this short little episode here and want to help us create more content, head over to Patreon, where we have after shows and whatnot. And I know when we are through probably the dungeon as a whole, I will be releasing the map, possibly an actual adventure write-up of this whole sort of chapter, but that will take me some time. And the stat blocks for at least Prosthesis, if not the Devoted and the Execants. The golems were more or less just plain stone golems that I threw a gimmick onto, so I don't really need to release those. You can find those in the monster manual. But the Execants and the Devoted, I think I tweaked enough from what their baseline was that it could be interesting to show you what they're all about. So stay tuned, more to come on Patreon. I spent this entire week working on a GIMP template for
They really could have picked a better name for that program.
They really could have. But for making my documentations of my creatures and whatnot actually look like D&D related stuff, and man, that is difficult to do. So I have just written up the votive flood in a Word document and made that look more or less nice. So I think I will release that, and once I finally get through working on this GIMP template, I will post it,
if you will.
Yeah, Gimplet. That sounds. I don't like that. I mean, you might. We don't gimp shame here. I'll post that when I finally get around to fixing it, making it, posting it. We'll see. On that, I think we'll just leave you to figure out what a gimplet is and process that as you will.
How to fix it.
And how to fix it, I guess, because apparently it's broken or something. Okay, everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, all of that stuff. Keep having fun, keep checking back here. And if you are in a tomb with an angry ancient king and are not having a good job with conversation, perhaps just offer him a heart tomato, because they really help bridge the gap in terms of friendship. They're really nice. Goodbye, everybody. Did I sneak that one by you, Steven?
You did.
Ah!
I wasn't ready for it.
Ah!